Hi and welcome to the Meza web portal tutorial. My name is Tristan and I'm going to be taking you through how to operate and set up your back end. So first thing to do is just to go on to portal.mezapp.com, where you'll be prompted to put in your login details that you would have used to register. So it would be your email and your password. We'll just click login, and this is going to take us then to the web portal. So on the left hand side you will see your venues, and this is our test one. So the first tab that you come across is your business. Now this is very simple. This is just your business name, a little description if you want, and just your business address and an ABN if you have one. Next tab would be contact details. So this is just simple stuff like your name, telephone number, and email address. Your subscription tab is the one that we use at the moment, which is operated by Stripe. This is the subscription tab. This is where you would have to enter in your details if you decided to carry on using Meza after the trial period. You just simply enter your card details here and hit update venue, and it'll save automatically, and then a direct debit will come off automatically every month to the value of $55, including GST. And your payments, this is for PayPal. So this basically means that if you want to use the guest app, or you want to allow your customers to use the guest app, they can actually use PayPal to pay for things before they even pick them up. So if they're on their way to work, they can order a flat white, pay for it from their phone using PayPal. All you need to do is just let us know if this is something that you want to use, and we will get PayPal to get in touch with you, and they can sort things out with you. All you need to do then is just put your PayPal email address in there, and if you do want to elect a minimum PayPal amount, then you can do just in this little text box over here. Next one is your branding. So this is just where you would upload a logo. So you can just select file, and it'll take you to your file browser. Select what image you want to upload. It'll pop it on there, and that little logo will appear on the guest app as well. So when a person is looking through different venues, it'll come up with your location, the venue name, and your logo will appear there as well. It's all very snazzy. So we also have here colors. Now this is to basically be able to separate your starters, entrees, and desserts and so on, just to make it easier for your staff to read at a glance. So all you need to do is, if you want to change it to a different color, you just pick whichever one you want. So if we want to change that to sort of flamingo pink, then we can just do that. And always remember, when you're finished doing all the editing that you want, just hit update venue. Next is your revenue center. Now this is really important. Basically, the revenue center is a section of your business. Now you can choose to isolate sections of your business. For example, we have here food, beverage, and bar. Sometimes people like to put food, beverage, bar, and coffee as well. But it just allows you to identify what revenue is coming from what section of your business, from what set of sales of what items. Also, what this does is that when you enter in a revenue center on here, when you put a new item on your menu, you'll assign it to one of these revenue centers. So obviously you would assign food to food, and for example, any alcohol would normally go to bar. So what that's going to do is that when an order is placed, the system knows where to send it. And that also ties in with the orders view that the chef would use. So they can actually select any one of these revenue centers that they want to see. So it'll do both of those things, but it's incredibly important to make sure that you enter what you want in here and include it on the actual menu item, which we'll come to in a moment. Next is your menu groups. So these are going to be things like hot drinks and breakfast and lunch, as you can see here. And you can also color code these as well if you want to. Same process applies. If you want to add another one, so we can say specials, for example. And you can add a description if you want to. You can pop a new color in there. So let's go green, and then you just hit add. And you can update venue as well. Next is generic modifiers. Now, generic modifier is a modifier which applies to an entire order, as opposed to a modifier which applies to just one item. So here, for example, we have rushed order, or if there's corkage that needs to be added, or if there's a holiday surcharge, you can also pop that in there. So you can say holiday surcharge, and then you can put in there 10%, for example, and text, and hit add, and that'll put that in there. Again, just hit update venue when you're done. Okay, system is not something that you would necessarily need to worry about. It just keeps a track of when your profile was created and when it was last updated as well. Okay, so your location is just that. It's the coordinates of your venue. Now, the guest app will use this to determine how close a person is using the guest app to your venue. The easy way to get this is just to open a new tab, and you can go into Google Maps. Simply just type in your address. It'll find you, and then all you need to do is right click and go, what's here? Now on the top, it'll give you your actual coordinates. So you can just click on that, it'll make it a little bit larger. Copy and paste that, your longitude and your latitude. And then update venue. Very simple. Okay, so this is the settings tab. From here you can adjust a number of things, for example, your menu grace period. So on here it's set to 15 minutes. So that is the number of minutes that two menus will overlap. For example, your breakfast menu and your lunch menu. So instead of your breakfast menu ending at 11:30 sharp, because you've given it a 15-minute grace period, there'll be 15 minutes where both the breakfast and lunch menus will be available. Your guest check-in radius is for the guest app, and it means on here that because it's set to 25, that your guest has to be within 25 meters of your venue in order to check in. Same applies here for the guest pre-order radius. It means that they have to be within 500 meters of your venue in order to order a takeaway, for example. If they are outside of that, it'll still allow them to order, but they will have to prepay using PayPal. This is the delivered state optional. It literally just means that once something has been marked as ready and it's been paid, it'll disappear. You won't really need to press delivered because it just adds another step to the process which you don't really need. These are your enable features, so you can allow a customer to request a bill, to request a waiter. You can allow customers to order as well. So that's the guest app, and you can also do an edit on the controller. So if you wanted to change anything on your controller, if you wanted to allow your staff to do that, so for example to add things to the menu or to change any of these settings from the controller, which some of them you can. For example, the delivered state optional you can change from the controller. You would just need to make sure that this is enabled, and it'll do a little local update. If you do accept credit cards and debit cards, you can set any surcharges on here. For example, sometimes Amex and Diners Club people choose to add a surcharge in there, and you can just put it as whatever you need. Okay, this is the staff tab. The staff tab, you would just need to pop in the name and contact information of your staff, and also what access level you would like them to be at. So for example, we might just want someone to be a waiter, or we might choose to give them a manager access as well. Now, the difference between them is that the manager can actually draw reports using the app on the iPad itself. The waiters can't access that sort of sensitive information. So you can choose what you allow people to see. Next to it, you also have your pin. Now, the pin is what's used on the top left-hand side of the screen on the app on the iPad, which basically just helps to keep track of who is doing what. So a staff member would have to log in before they can actually perform an action. Now, normally what we recommend is just so that it's easy for people to remember, just to make it the last 4 digits of their mobile phone number. And the same applies if you want to add someone on here. You just pop in their first and last name, any contact details, choose the access level that you want, and give them a pin, and they just hit add and update venue. Same as Oakware. This is the reports. Now, this is more for the owners and managers. This is the place where you can access any detailed reports of the business. So obviously, as we know, you can access some reports from the app itself on the iPad, but they are fairly basic. These are the more detailed ones. So these are the ones that are really going to help you get to grips with exactly what is happening in your business. So here, for example, we have sales summary and balance report. That one you can access from the iPad. But you also have detailed timings information report. Now that you can't access from there, you would have to do it from here. So let's select a day period. So you can choose months, weeks, days, or you can select a specific time periods from 1 day to 1 day. So we can do, let's do the 16th, display. So this is going to give us a whole bunch of information as to how long things have actually really taken. So you can use this report, for example, to understand how efficient your business is at producing products and what your turnaround times are. So you can also export these reports as well as CSV files. It does give you the option over here to download as a CSV. With some of the other report times, you can also download them as PDFs instead if it's not a CSV format. So we also have things like your total sales per menu item. So that's going to tell you how many fish and chips you've sold, how many coffees you've sold. All really, really useful information as well. So that is it for the moment. We also have our Xero tab, which is coming soon, which we're working on at the moment, which we're really excited about. This just basically means that you're going to be able to link the information that happens in here, link it directly to Xero, and the two will talk to each other and do all of your accounting and all of your data input automatically.